Alright, so we are back for another Dokkan battle video, and in today's video, we are going to be going over the latest day to download, which is for the New Year's celebration, which obviously is coming to JP Dokkan. So I guess it's pretty much confirmed at this point, not a sync celebration. I feel like we've known that for a couple days now, but now it's like for real. It's not coming out on global. Definitely does suck. I mean, you know, it's always nice when we got the sync stuff, especially when they just revealed the games are syncing. So then to have a celebration like this, that's not going to be synced, and then also have anniversary right around the corner, which got revealed that's not going to be synced. It definitely feels kind of weird, but from the day to download, this definitely looks like a very good celebration, and from the details of a lot of the units that we got, it looks really exciting, and it looks like a lot of the units are going to be very crazy. So just to get right into it, first off, we do have a promo movie. I'm assuming most of you don't really care about this, so we're just going to skim through it really quickly. I mean, it looks kind of cool. The animations for the new units are, I don't want to say bad, but they could have been better. I mean, they look good enough. I'll say that. I like it. I still think it's worth summoning for just with their animations. But here we got the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Just an insane unit. We're not going to be going over its details because we got a lot of other units we got to go over. But this guy's just so insane. Same thing with the Harudagon for Extreme Class. This boy is helping them out a lot. Really think they're both a good release. And in terms of the banner you should summon on, like, dude, it really doesn't matter. They're both going to be so crazy. And we got a little banner preview as well, which we'll go over in more depth in tomorrow's video for the Should You Summon. But their banners look good as well. Like, just overall, this is looking like a really good New Year's celebration. So definitely really good with both of them, not only with their banners, but then just as an actual unit, they're both very good. And then next, we do have the LR Frieza and Cell. So LR Frieza and Cell, kind of random, kind of popped out of nowhere. You know, actual GT bosses buffs. I know it's crazy. Didn't think we'd see this for another couple years, but definitely really cool. I'm like 90% sure they're the Battlefield Memory LR, but I think I heard something about them also being a Yellow Coin LR, so I don't really know how they're handling that, but I'm pretty sure they're free to play. They don't have like an SSR or TUR. It's just straight up, you know, this is the only card, so pretty sure it's the Battlefield Memory LR, but I could be wrong. I just want to point that out. So starting off with their leader skill, we got Sworn Enemies, category Key +3, HP attack and defense plus 130%. Okay, not really a great leader skill, but I guess for free-to-play units like this, doesn't really matter anyway. You're not running them as a lead. And then their super attack on their 12 key, 30% attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, high chance to stun. 18 key, 50% attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal, and then 30% to extreme class allies for 2 turns. Okay, not bad. It's a very simple super attack effect, 30% attack and defense on 12 key, and then, you know, the 50% on 18 key. Very simple, but still very efficient and very good. I would say just with that, probably give them some additionals. They are physical, so they got the base 5 additional. But, you know, some additionals will be good just so you can get potentially multiple supers. And then obviously you get more defense with that. But then their passive is that they activate the entrance animation upon entry once only. If there's another character on the team who belongs on the Sworn Enemy, Revenge, or GT Bosses category. All right, that's pretty broad, actually. Most of the units you're running them with will probably be on one of those categories. And then they get 5 key, 40% attack and defense, and then a medium chance to evade enemies' attacks for 6 turns from first appearance. Okay, 30% chance to dodge is alright, I guess. That's not really that good, though. But then they get 3 key, 140% to stats, and then an additional 70% attack and defense when attacking. Alright, so in slot 2 and 3, they're not going to be horrible. Between all the stats they're going to be getting on super, and then also, you know, you having that chance to dodge. But I definitely wouldn't recommend putting them in slot 1, just because a 30% chance to dodge is not good, and they're going to be getting most of their stats on super, at least from what it looks like from what we've read in their passive so far. But then also, they give 2 key and then 30% defense to Sworn Enemies, Revenge, and GT Bosses category allies. So, okay, this support is pretty nice. Only 2 key and 30% defense is a little weird. Would have been nice if it was 3 key and then maybe 40% attack and defense, but whatever, I digress. It's a free-to-play unit, so I guess that's still good to have support. And then they get a high chance to crit if there's an enemy whose name includes Goku. They get an additional chance to evade enemies' attack plus 20%, and then attacks effective against all types if the attacked enemy is stunned or sealed. Alright, and then they get a chance to evade enemies' attack plus another 20%, and then an additional super attack if the enemy is in attack down or defense down status. Alright, yeah, they're not good. I mean, it really just depends on what their start of turn, like, defensive stat is looking like, I guess, but this dodge mechanic is not good. Don't get me wrong, the 30% chance to dodge for the first 6 turns, I guess is alright, but a 30% chance to dodge is not reliable, and it's only for the first 6 turns. To then get the, 70% chance to dodge is the highest percent chance to dodge they can get. They have to be, or the enemy has to be in attack down or defense down, stunned or sealed. So all these conditions behind it, We don't like that. Of course, with these extreme class units, we want them to be unrestricted as possible. I guess with most units, we want that, but especially extreme class because they make them restricted so often. So then having a unit like this that's restricted, yeah, it definitely takes away from their value. I don't think they're good by any means, but I wouldn't call them bad either. They're on some really weak teams, and because they're somewhat solid, I guess they're kind of good for the game, and they're also free, so whatever. I mean, not really a whole lot to complain about. It's a free unit, right? And then they've got the active skill, so you can do it once 4 or more turns have elapsed from start of battle. And then also there's an enemy whose name includes Goku, or when 6 or more turns have elapsed from start of battle. The effect is that you greatly raise attack temporarily, ultimate damage, and then seal super attack for 1 turn. Alright. I mean, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of their design. I mean, I guess they went for more like Super Battle Road, but even with that, I think they kind of failed. I mean, maybe if they made them like greatly lower attack and defense on their 18 and 12 key on top of what they already have, that would have been nice because then they would have been a really good Super Battle Road unit, but I don't know. Like, with what they got going now, I'm just not that big of a fan. I definitely see the value, though. If you get that 70% chance to dodge, they're going to look impressive. Because just from the looks of their passive, could be very wrong when I say this, but they're going to be around 200-300k defense start of turn. And then, you know, you get all the stats on super. You'll probably be pushing, like, I guess 800k defense with good RNG with maybe an additional or 2. And then that with the 70% chance to dodge, obviously will be very good. But I don't know, you're not getting the 70% chance to dodge most of the time, and then if you don't dodge, you're taking a lot of damage. So, not the biggest fan of their design, but they're definitely not useless. But then next up, we do have this STR Icarus. Yeah, it's just a little, like, Zenny unit. Absolutely no value with them, really, other than just getting Zenny. So, you're not going to run him. It's not like a free-to-play unit or anything like that. I guess it is technically a free-to-play unit, but it's just like the Hercule statues. You just sell them for the Zenny, and then that's that. But then now moving on to some Easy A's. So you can see down here, we got the Easy A for the Tech Tapion, and then also the Tech free-to-play Trunks. So I guess let's get right into it. The Tech Tapion, haven't read his kit yet. The Trunks I read over a little, but this guy, I got no idea what he's looking like. So his leader skill is Tech type key +4, and then super Tech type get 100% to stats. Okay, that's oddly specific, but I guess it doesn't matter. You're probably never using this guy as a lead anyway. Super attack effect is that he gets 30% attack and defense for 1 turn, supreme damage to enemy, and then lowers attack. Yeah, you know, as long as you got defense in there, I'm not complaining. 30% defense on super attack effect. It's pretty much all I really look for, honestly. I mean, guaranteed crits, support, anything like that is nice, but the defense on super is really like the meat of what we want in the super attack effect. So definitely very good at that. Passive, 160% to stats start of turn, medium chance to crit. And then when there's a movie boss's category enemy, he gets 80% attack and defense and then guaranteed crit. Okay. I mean, that's not crazy, but I guess. And then he changes STR key spheres to rainbow key spheres. Actually, that is pretty useful. Rainbow orb changer definitely will get him very far. Movie heroes category allies, 40% attack and defense. Okay, that's pretty good as well. Movie heroes is a very good category. So if you want to throw this guy on there, he'll be supporting everyone for a reasonable amount. And then when he gets 1 rainbow key sphere, he gets a chance to evade enemies' attacks plus 30%. And movie heroes category allies, 2 key. And then a 20% chance to crit. I mean, that's pretty good. Look, so far, I haven't read any, you know, damage reduction, no guard. You know, there's a little bit of dodge, but it's not really that great. But that's a pretty good support. If this guy's supporting movie heroes category allies for 40% attack and defense, and then if you get a rainbow orb, which, by the way, this guy is rainbow orb changing, he also supports for 2 key and then a 20% chance to crit. That is pretty good, actually. And then next up, he's got when collecting 2 or more key spheres, or rainbow key spheres, he gets an additional 10% chance to evade enemies' attack for each key sphere from the 2nd key sphere onward. So I don't know if this is rainbow key spheres or normal key spheres. Okay, Minato did clarify. So it's when you get rainbow key spheres. So this guy is going to be getting probably around a 50% chance to dodge most of the time, assuming you collect like 2 rainbow key spheres, which I feel like will be pretty like consistently the number you're going to get just because he is rainbow orb changing. So a high chance to dodge, basically. We'll just say that's the general consensus of what his dodge is going to be most of the time. And then that support. Am I saying that's good? Not really, because his defense is probably going to suck most of the time just because he doesn't have a whole lot going for him. No guard, no damage reduction. Definitely does suck. There's a lot of stat buffs, which I guess is kind of good. You know, you got 30% attack and defense going on here, 160% here. You've got this, which is good, but it's restricted behind a movie boss's category enemy. So just something you're going to want to keep in mind. And then down here, he gets 80% attack and defense when attacking when you get 3 or more key spheres. So, I don't know. He's all right. He's kind of good. It's kind of like the Frieza in the Cell. I mean, he's all right. He's not crazy. He could be a good support. I think he has a very high roof, especially for just a random sub EZA, but am I saying this guy's really good? No, not really. I mean, especially for the teams Tapion is on and how often we get Tapions, this guy probably should have been a little bit better, but he's definitely not bad. I wouldn't consider this a fumble. So, pretty good at that, I guess. If you really like that unit, he's not completely horrible. I didn't mean to pull up the Icarus. But then next up, we do have the free-to-play Trunks. So, this is direct translations from Dokkan info. So, this is literally translated from the Japanese version of the game. So, you can see here, some of the wording is a little weird. So, if I get a couple things wrong, my bad. You know, I'm just pretty stupid, so I don't know how to read this correctly. But it's worded weird, so cut me some slack. So, his leader skill is Movie Heroes, category key +3, HP and attack and defense +77%. Or, I'm assuming this is tech type 3 key and then 50% of the stats. I mean, obviously that sucks, but it's a free-to-play unit. You're not using him as a lead anyway. His super attack effect is that he raises attack infinitely, and then also gets 30% defense for 1 turn, and then does immense damage to opponent. And then when you got his unit super attack, he still stacks attack infinitely, so that's a 30% attack buff. He gets 50% defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage to enemy, and then gets a guaranteed crit. So, yeah, definitely run this guy with a Tapion. That's a really big difference in terms of his super attack effect. Not only are you getting an extra 20% defense, but then you're getting a guaranteed crit. So that's really going to help you defensively, and that's really going to help you offensively. So definitely very good with that. And then his passive is that he gets 120% to stats, gets another 100% to attack and defense when you do a super. He gets a medium chance to crit just for free. He gets another 15% attack and defense for every Movie Heroes category ally on your team. And then when you have an ally on your team whose name is Tapion, or when there's a movie boss's enemy, then all allies get 2 key and then 40% defense. And then the attacked enemy's attack goes down by 30% for 2 turns. Okay, so yeah, again, worded a little weird, sorry about that, but basically, if there's a movie boss's category enemy or a Tapion on the team, you support for 2 key and 40% defense, and then you do a 30% attack debuff to the enemy for 2 turns. Not bad. I mean, as long as you just throw a Tapion on the team, which there's a few good Tapions in the game. No, there's really not. I guess we just need an EZA for the LR Tapion and Minosha. If they get a busted EZA, then this guy will have a good partner with them. But for now, I mean, that's not crazy, but like I said before, there are a couple difficult events with movie bosses category enemies, so you could have some value with running this guy in there. So definitely pretty good at that. And then also, when there's an ally whose name includes Tapion participating in an attack, so I'm assuming that means in the same turn, or when there's a movie bosses category enemy, you support for 2 key and then 40% attack, and then the attacked enemy's defense goes down by 30% for 2 turns. Okay, wait, this is worded very oddly. So when okay, so I'm just assuming when you've got a Tapion on the team, or in the same turn, or if there's a movie bosses category enemy, then you get 4 key and 40% attack and defense support for all allies, and then a 30% attack and defense debuff on the enemy for 2 turns. If that is the case, that's really good. Supporting for 4 key and then 40% to stats for a free-to-play unit is very busted. But one thing you'll notice with this guy, hate to say it and hate to be that guy, but no guard, no damage reduction, no dodge, blah, blah, blah. Not really good defensively, so basically unrunnable. I mean, it is what it is, right? He's just not going to be good. So there definitely is value with him, with the support, with everything else going on. His damage could be good, but defensively he just sucks, so he's not going to be that crazy. But then moving on of the EZAs, we got new quest mode stages, obviously very good, just more stones. We got the Dokkan events for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Hirudegan, very good, more free-to-play stones, and then also the medals to awaken the new units. And then we got a new SBR stage versus Turtle School. Not only is normal SBR really easy, but Turtle School is the category, so most players should be absolutely fine. And then we got an ESBR stage, Joined Forces. Actually, Joined Forces should be pretty easy as well. It's a pretty good category right now. Obviously not as good as something like Turtle School, but most players should have a pretty stacked Joined Forces team. Obviously a lot of the Goku and Vegeta units on there, so that should be pretty easy. And then we got new Ultimate Red Zone stages. So this is for the second Ultimate Red Zone movie edition. So basically you're going to be fighting Tao Pai Pai and then Dr. Wheelo. I don't think we have details on these 2 stages yet specifically, but when we do get the details in terms of how hard the enemy's hitting and all that, I'll probably do a community post or something on that just to see, because I'm really curious how they're going to take difficult content now. I feel like they could go in 2 directions. They could just kind of continuously give us, like, I don't want to say this stagnated level of difficult content, because, you know, content is definitely getting harder and harder as time goes on, but we haven't really seen a big jump in power creep. Like, I think 7th year anniversary was the biggest jump in terms of difficult content becoming like way more difficult we've ever really seen. And we haven't really seen something like that since. It's just been the enemy hood a little bit more harder instead of 1.5, like, oh, okay, now it's 1.6. And that's kind of been the case for about like the past couple years now, ever since, again, 7th year anniversary. So I'm curious how hard these guys are going to be hitting. Maybe New Year's is going to be the chance that they give us, this new wave of difficult content. So definitely looking forward to that. Also, we got new Easy A area stuff, for the free-to-play trunks. So pretty good at that. And then also they are combining all the movies Easy A areas into one. We got the reveal of that a while ago, but, I guess now is the actual day to download for that. So pretty good at that also. And then, yeah, Awakening Medals for the free-to-play trunks. We've got Dragon Ball Story. So a lot of free stones. That's good. We got a burst mode. I don't think we can see the 2 categories in here, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be like, movie heroes and movie bosses, or, some categories that both the new Dokkan Fest units are on that would obviously fit the theme for the celebration. So very good. Burst mode, really fun game mode. We got a new battlefield for the new Cell and Frieza. We got Baton Battle. I still don't think anyone cares about Baton Battle. We got banner assets, so you can kind of see some of the units that are going to be featured. Like I said earlier, we'll go into this in more detail on the Should You Summon tomorrow. We've got a new support memory. So the effect of this is that for 2 turns from start of battle, you get 10% attack and defense for all allies on the stored figures category. So pretty good. I guess that's a solid support memory. If you're running a stored figures team, then obviously that'd be pretty good. We also got new tickets for the Ultimate Red Zone. We've got these, which don't even matter for most players who are playing in the States. Even if you got a JP account, this does absolutely nothing for you. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys are thinking of the New Year's celebration, I guess, because this is basically the New Year's celebration, or at least part 1 of it, because this is most of the content that's going to be coming within the next couple weeks on JP Dokkan. So again, let me know what you guys are thinking of this day to download. Let me know what you're looking forward to most out of everything we got revealed. And let me know which banner you're summoning on. Me personally, I'm probably going to go for Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I just think his card art, animations, kit, all of it is really fire, so I've got to go for my boy. But completely understandable if you're going for Hirudegan. He seems insanely busted, and he seems very good for a lot of these really weak teams. So that has been the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you on the next one.